welcome back to Shots Fired. This time we're playing the Genesis version of Aladdin. Well, I was right that this was made by Virgin Games, actually Virgin Interactive. They made many of Disney's PC games. They also did Overlord, the Dune games, MC Kids, all that kind of stuff. And the knowledge that they did a lot of PC games, and if this version was actually also ported to the Amiga, gives me some understanding of, one, how this game looks, because a lot of PC ports or PC-developed games ended up on the Genesis. I don't know why. This happened. Maybe I'll find out at some point. That might be a good idea. But this... I don't know right now why there were two different versions of this game made, since Capcom was making the Super Nintendo version. But we'll figure that out when I do my final piece on this. But so far, we're going to play Aladdin on the Genesis, which I'm not looking forward to because I tried to play this last night, and I absolutely hated it. So, no surprise there. One of the things that I absolutely don't like is that it just seems busy. There's too many collectibles. There's too much stuff happening because, like, the health meter is indiscernible. And what you'll notice is a main difference right away is one, that the Prince Ali music is playing at the beginning of this game, and two, Aladdin has a sword. So, right off the bat, I can see why people would favor this game over the Super Nintendo version if they preferred having more combat in games rather than platforming. Because the Capcom game, I feel, is more rock solid on its platforming. Largely, and I don't think Genesis controllers are particularly great. I'm playing on an original Sega controller right now, which was in fairly good condition, so maybe it's just the controller wasn't broken, but I don't think it is. The character model is more detailed, it is more fluidly animated, but as you can see there, I was hitting jump. I think the jumping is incredibly clumsy and incredibly loose, and there's just way too much happening on screen at once. But from a young mind's perspective, this is definitely looks more like the movie that you were playing, more like the movie you saw, even though it plays like floaty garbage. And I don't like that Aladdin has a weapon, because he only gets the weapon in the movie very late on, and that was a very rad perspective on making a game. Also, this genie stuff is really unsettling. But it is over-animated in a way that you would find in Disney Interactive PC games. Remember there was a Toy Story game that was just like horrendously over-animated. I am doing better this time than I did when I tried to play last night, but what I really don't like is the finesse of this platforming here, that, like, you are going to do it twice. And when I was playing this last night, like, half 50-50, he would just jump and slide off the end of this pier thing. So... Okay, that little da-da-da-da-da-da makes me think of the Vaudevillains, which are a tag team on the NXT wrestling program. That's the only good thing I can say about this game so far. Other than it, I guess, looks good. I mean, it is very colorful. Everything is way more animated, but there's less effort put into making it a solid platformer. It's not something you would find coming from Capcom. And I'm not saying it needs to be a Capcom game, but I think I personally... Well, one, he died like Earthworm Jim there, which, fun fact, the developer of this game published Earthworm Jim in Europe, I believe. That's a series I could totally revisit and be sad about, that the creator is apparently a horrible monster now, so always fun to figure that out. This platforming just does not feel good. Because the problem with having things be over animated, the sprite being, he's not too much bigger than the Super Nintendo sprite, but this extra floatiness is a serious problem when you want to land a jump the first time. Oh well, I got a life. Doesn't matter. Ooh, I made it through that horrible level. Everything about this game just feels overdone. And that's really shitty. And I had no idea how to do this, because it gives you these... Watch out, Abu. Okay, I didn't see that the first time. Because that's my favorite internet game. This is like the greatest hits of things that I didn't like in video games when I was a kid. My favorite Super Nintendo game is Gymfire, so I wasn't really a platforming kid. But like, what is this? Watch out for the camels, they spit. It's just, everything is too referential, too over-animated, and exactly what a kid that doesn't give a crap about a game being playable would want. Is there a snake in Aladdin? I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen the movie. I'm gonna have to watch it after I do this, because now I'm just like, maybe I am misremembering things. Okay. Fuck you. Okay. It's not here. I was fucking right. There was a stop sign in the desert. That shit bothers me. It's too cheeky. It's... The only thing I could remember about this game was that I thought it was over-animated and there was a stop sign in the desert somewhere. And I found it. And someone once argued with me vehemently that there was no stop sign in the desert. Well, guy that argued with me on the internet, here's the stop sign. Is there no way to, like, get health back? Oh no, it's the blue hearts that... There's no... Oh, okay. Oh, that's not clunky and terrible at all. This is my favorite video game, guys. This does not look like a complete shit show whatsoever. Oh my god, thank god. Okay, so... What's the point? Shit. Ugh. I'm trying so hard to be patient with this, but you see what I mean, right? Like, that's just... it's just bullshit for bullshit's sake. Like, there's no point. Alright, so... I think I had similar problems with the Lion King game, and I think they made that too. So, I will definitely see if there were two different versions of the Lion King game, because I did not like this. Oh my god, it's a scarab. Give me that. I'm trying so hard not to just scream expletives into this microphone. I hate everything about this. Oh, fuck you! Oh, ho, ho. Oh, I'm gonna keep playing. I'm gonna keep going. Oh. Oh my god. Okay, no. We're not gonna keep going. This video is gonna be about 12 minutes long. I think I've said my piece on Aladdin. Now, what happened there was likely due to the fact that I'm playing this on a Retron 5. Because I have a box copy of this cartridge. I don't know why. Did they get sad when I moved to no? Oh, there was no fun animation? See, obviously this game is the worst. But no, seriously, in all honesty, I could definitely see why people enjoy it. Because it looks more like the movie that you saw. But I think that the Capcom game captures more of what you'd want from it, like the sense of wonder, or at least playability. And the benefit of the Capcom game is that it is a Capcom platformer designed by... And he had a pretty good mastery of, you know, how game design works at the time. He made a few other Disney platformers, and Capcom's very good at making platformers. Virgin is all over the map with what it makes, and it makes a lot of it made a lot of PC games. So this plays like a PC game designed to entice children to play it, but just isn't fun. Like, it doesn't hold up beyond the isn't it fun that you're playing an Aladdin game? Doesn't it look like the thing that you like? I guess it does, but I don't give a shit, you know? So fundamentally, I think the Super Nintendo game is better, but I can see why people would want to think this one is. Famitsu gave this game a 35 out of 40 back in '93, and video games have come a long way since then. I just can't fathom how anyone enjoyed this, but then I think about the state of platformers on the Genesis and think, yeah, sure. This is totally acceptable by those standards. So, I'm not even gonna do a third video. And what really bothers me is that this version with the essence of this version of this game was what made it onto the Game Boy, made it onto PC. This game dominated all those other platforms. But the Capcom game is much better to play. Sure, it's not as referential, but sometimes you don't want it to be overly referential. Just... This debate's over.